Hello everybody. On popular demand, I was asked many times what is, or other, some of the advice I can give to make a success in South Africa when you want to set up your own business or buying a business. Now, I'm certainly not an expert, and there's lots of other experts to ask, but I do have some experience of witnessing 20 years of clients making a success in South Africa. So I thought in the following video I give you sometimes not completely sincere bullet points, answers into my 8 rules how to make a business success in South Africa. Okay, so number one would be call the customer back. And then you're already better than 70% of your competitors. Yes, difficult to imagine, but it is the truth. Okay. Then what's the difference between setting up a business in Johannesburg and Cape Town? So quite significant. In Johannesburg is a fast-paced decision-making city. You meet people once, you have a good meeting, they make a decision, and you can move forward. In Cape Town, you're going to have 3 to 4 meetings, and 2 of them will be postponed. And then you hear nothing for half a year, and then you have another 2 meetings, and then nothing happens. So be careful where you want to set up your business, okay? Number 3. In my experience, it takes 100% longer to break even than you think. So my minimum time, I tell some of my clients, is 2 years. You need cash flow to really keep your business afloat and make it a success. I think depending on obviously the market and what your business is, but in general, I think it takes a long time to convince the local market to buy from you, because you knew they want to see, do you have the sticking power, do you stick around, do you get bankrupt, are you going back to where you came from? So 2 years is the minimum. I had businesses who basically they had to cover their private expenses for 3 years until they then made a great success. So yeah. Okay. Then I think number 4. I think we're at number 4 now. I also would recommend to set the pricing higher than you think. The inefficiencies in the system are endless, and some of my other advice will be linking to it. But you will be surprised how much time you spend on stuff which in other countries would be quite normal and efficiently done. So I think the pricing needs to be higher. Okay. Then number 5, banks are very shiny. They are safe, but eat up your time. The banks here still require that you come into their branches. At least they don't have checks anymore like in the US. But yeah, otherwise, but they are safe. And for Africa, they have very good financial institutions, let's be honest. But yeah, their client service could be improved. Then invest in a personal assistant, I think, organizing your private life. Otherwise, you waste so much valuable time that you don't have time to start and set up your business and grow it. So that would be certainly something. Then I do think you should find a reliable partner with a strong own network to introduce you to other reliable partners. So in my experience, a lot of newbies lose a year because they use service providers who maybe don't perform then on the quality they're expecting, or just drop them or disappear. And that's obviously very frustrating and can set you back. So I think set your expectations quite high, look long enough for finding somebody and then who potentially introduces you to other partners. Okay. Then I think I forgot the counting now, but we must be at number 7, maybe even at number 8. Don't believe all the empty promises and stories you hear. So you will hear a lot of stories, a lot of promises, lots of shiny cars and houses, but you will be surprised how poor and how little cash flow people actually have. So I would be very careful with whom you potentially locally team up. Normally their lifestyle is much shinier than the bank balances are. Okay. Yeah, and that's really it. My very last one is very important. The vast majority of my clients actually make a great success in South Africa. The markets are not very competitive. They're not as tight as established markets. Some segments are growing rapidly with a rapidly growing consumer base. So it is rewarding, and yeah, but you need time. I hope that was useful. All the best. Bye-bye.